Right, how are we all doing, guys? Okay, so this episode's going to be another gaming memories. Now, if you've already watched my last one, it'll be the Montag one. And I mentioned in that about how one of my earliest gaming memories was of going to the arcade. So this one is my first gaming memory. And this one will surprise you, kind of, this one. Because obviously you've only ever known computers and game machines ever since you was a kid, right? But I remember a time when these weren't a thing, right? Right, so I'm showing my age now, aren't I? Right, so if you imagine I was 7 years old, it was 1985, and I was just starting junior school. Well, I say just starting, it was probably about halfway through.
Yeah.
And what they used to do is they used to have a day, normally when it was at the end of a term, where you could bring your toys in. And we all brought different things in. If I remember, I think I took some Star Wars figures in because at the time, I didn't have anything like the other kids had. And I say this because this was my first gaming memory. So a lot of the other kids brought these fantastic little machines in, and people will know what I'm on about when I say grandstand and Tomy. Yes, that's right. We're on about the little LCD games that you used to get. They were kind of like a little sort of cabinet with a little tiny joystick and a couple of buttons, right? And basically, wasn't like a TV screen with computer graphics. It was the screen would light up, and that's how you saw like the aliens or whatever you was playing. Yeah. So if you imagine on the screen, you'd have a little alien here, then bigger, then bigger, then bigger as it comes towards you, and it would light up, and you'd have to shoot it, move your little thing at the bottom. So it wasn't like you see now with graphics just appearing. It was already there, but it lit up as you were shooting. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, and I remember a couple of lads. One of them brought in a game called, I've jotted it down here, Alien Attack, which was a Tomy game. I think it also came out as a grandstand as well. And basically in this game you had to fly along and shoot alien ships. And if I remember right, I'm sure it was a side scroller. And you had like little tower bits that you had to avoid as you're shooting them. Really good though. And I mean, I remember he was like, "Oh, do you want to go on this, Lee?" And I was like, "Yeah," like straight away because this was the first time I'd seen anything like this. So yeah, and I remember like there was three kids all brought something in, and we was all glued to them. So one of them brought in, like I say, the Tomy Alien Attack. Somebody else brought in the Tomytronic 3D Sky Attack, which was, now this one will make you laugh. It was kind of like a V-shaped object with like binocular bits that you put to your eyes. And again, it was like the other ones with the light up bits, the ships.
Yeah.
But you had it to your eyes like this. All you could see was that. And there was a little plastic window on the top that let the light in so that you could see. But when you looked into it, it was just dark,
Yeah.
And you had buttons on the side. So as you held it at your eyes, you pushed the buttons to move left and right and shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really good. I remember sitting there like, we was all sort of taking it in turns, but I mean, it was great. And then another lad had the Game and Watch, Donkey Kong. Now, these have been re-released recently, but we're on about when they first come out. Now, you know how your DS looks?
Yeah.
You open it up and you've got two screens.
Yeah.
Well, the DS was kind of based on the original Game and Watches with the two screens. But it was more like, how do I explain it? It was more like a sort of LCD, like on a watch. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sort of screen. Kind of like with your Superman clock over there.
Yeah.
Yeah? So the little characters were made up of that, like Donkey Kong and Mario that you had to jump and that's how it looked. It was like the grey screen with the black sort of characters.
Yeah, outline and stuff.
Yeah? And that's what you called, basically they were mainly known as what you call a pocket game. Because it folded up and then you put it in your pocket. And this was like my first introduction to gaming. The Game and Watch, the Tomy or Grandstand, and the Tomy 3D. What was it again? 3D Sky Attack. So yeah, and these were great. These were. I mean, it's funny because, like I say, they're re-releasing the Game and Watches now, but they're doing them now with proper screens like
Yeah.
you get on. You know, they're not like they was. So, but I remember the old school ones, and in fact, if you've got any of these now, they're worth quite a bit. And in fact, actually thinking about it, Retrobait has got a Tomytronic 3D in the background in his shed. I've seen it in his videos, and the one that he's got is the one I'm talking about here, Sky Attack. It's like a burgundy colour. I've seen it on the shelf in his videos. So he's got one. So if he's watching this, he'll know exactly what I'm on about. But yeah, these were great. And this is what got me into gaming. And yeah, it was good. And this leads to another gaming memory, but I will do that in a separate video because something come out of this. Mainly because after this day, I wanted one of these, and that will go in another video. That's another story. So yeah, what do you think about that?
Sounds pretty cool with the Sky Attack one, where you put the binoculars to your eyes.
Yeah, I mean it's very different to anything you've played.
Yeah.
You know, I one day I'll see if I can get one just so you can see what I experienced, but it's very basic to what you see now, but for the time,
I was about to say,
you know.
Well, when you described it, I was like, that's pretty ahead of its time.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. You had things like Ataris and stuff around at the time, but this was the first time you had something that you could take with you.
Yeah.
There wasn't anything out like Game Boys weren't out at this point. Game Gears weren't out. You know, this was the only thing that you could take out with you.
Yeah.
You know. The only other things you had were things like Ataris and stuff, which were at home.
Yeah.
So, you know, this was very ahead of its time. These, if you like, were your first handhelds. So, yeah. And I mean, the grandstand was kind of like, almost like a little tiny miniature arcade machine, if you like, you know, like with a little joystick and the buttons.
So
it was about, say, this big sort of size, you know, say that from front to back, and you just sat it on the top and you played it, you know, and it had a built-in speaker and all that, you know. It was good stuff. It was good.
Would you say that's the inspiration of the Game Boy and DS then?
Well, yeah, I think if it wasn't for devices like this, you probably never would have got them. Yeah. Yeah, things adapt. I mean, like I say, if you look at the DS, for example, the DS, part of that was based on the Game & Watch. The way it folds up and goes in your pocket, that's exactly what the Game & Watch did. And, you know, the Game & Watch was a bit smaller, but not a lot smaller. So when you think about it, as technology moved on, it got much smaller. What the things that they could do with the new tech could fit into something almost the same size. So it's clever, isn't it, really? So that's how much things have changed over time, you know? So, yeah. I mean, you think about it, the DS, how long ago did the DS come out? Quite a while ago now, wasn't it? Well, probably about, I don't know now, actually thinking about it. I can't remember exactly when it came out, but I mean, it's been in the last 20 years, isn't it? So, I mean, how old are you now? You're 12. You was 3 when you was playing your mum, so you're probably looking, I don't know, 2006, something like that, when it came out.
Yeah, around that.
So when you think about that, that was less than 20 years from when I played a Game & Watch.
Yeah.
You know, well, maybe just a bit over. That's pretty close, and you consider how much that's changed in, you know, how much tech's changed in that time. So yeah, probably sounds all very basic to Connor, but you know, this was something that was startling to me as a kid. You know, there's me coming in with my Star Wars figures, and I've got friends that have got like computer games, and it was like, well, who's Luke Skywalker? I forget who he is. Like, you know, it's like I want to play that. So you know, and like I say, like we was all us kids were all like, whoa, what's that? You know, so yeah, these 3 lads that come in with these things, we all sort of swarmed them. So yeah, it was good times. So anyway, I just thought I'd share that because anybody who's around Connor's age probably have no idea what these things are. But now you know the names of them, just have a look. Go online, have a look. You'll see plenty of pictures of them on Google and that, and you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. But these were what we had to deal with. This is what we had. And although they might seem a little bit prehistoric to kids now, it didn't change the fact that they were a lot of fun, and I really did enjoy it. And this is what really got me hooked on gaming. So, yeah, this is my first gaming memory. So anyway, I'm going to leave that one there. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys, and if you did, please like, share and subscribe, and also hit that notification bell so that you're made aware of all our future videos and live streams. And also comment, especially anybody who remembers these things when they come out. And if you didn't remember, you know, and you're interested, leave a comment below. And until next time, take care.
Stay safe.
Nerdy Geezer out.